Cheltenham Town away on Saturday. Mark, obviously, last Saturday's game was postponed against Crewe. How's that affected preparations and planning for this week?
Yeah, it hasn't affected it. It was a free week for us, so it was always going to be a Saturday to Saturday preparation. So it enabled us to have a weekend off really to freshen up. Obviously, we wouldn't have been at a train anyway. So yeah, it enables us to freshen up and have a normal week's preparation for Saturday's game.
And how useful is that you've not had any distractions this week then going into what is, again, certainly that the fans will see as one of the biggest games of the season?
It's always good to have a week's prep, so you can hit it head on and get everything nailed down that you want to. Sometimes when there's a Tuesday game, it's an issue with the time. So no, it's been a good week, and I know it's the old cliche, but it's another game for me. It's the next game. It's 3 points, and looking forward to it.
Derbies, though, have a little bit more going on around them than other games. How do you advise the players to prepare for that element of it? Because it should be a great atmosphere and a pretty full house.
It's noise, really. It's all the other stuff is just noise. It's what the local derby and the fans, it ups the atmosphere. It makes the atmosphere a bit more spicy. But at 3 o'clock, it is a pitch with 22 players and a referee on it. So it's the same as any other game. We have to deal with all the hoo-ha and all the noise. And once you do that, it's down to business.
And it's also two teams very well placed in the table. How exciting is that just to be going up against another one of the leading sides?
Good, yeah. I think it shows that both clubs are in a good place. They're both growing. They're both evolving. Two good football teams. So we're hoping it's a good game. It's not just a typical blood and thunder derby. It's actually a good football game.
Yeah, you both want to play good football. They score a lot of goals at home. You don't concede many anywhere. Where does the contrast in styles come from for you?
I don't think either team sets out to say, right, we don't want to score many at home, but we're going to score all our goals away, and we're going to be really tight away from home, but we're going to try and concede loads of goals at home. And I'm sure Cheltenham would like to win more away games than they do. So it's just one of those things. It might change during the season. A reason for it, for us, maybe that teams come in and bank in at home and make it difficult for us. Fully respect that. Whereas away from home, they're duty bound to have a bit of a go at us. So that might have something to do with it. And Cheltenham play a little bit of a different system to us. They're very aggressive. They're a really good football team, and then they do get on the front foot at home. So let's just hope it's a good game.
Have you got to be wary to avoid a similar start to what you had at Exeter?
It's not ideal. The ideal scenario is you start on the front foot and you want to get the opposition on the back foot, but we didn't do that at Exeter. And I'm sure Cheltenham will be hoping to get on the front foot. They're at home. They're the one with a good home record. So it's you have to adapt to what the game throws up, and we have to adapt better than we did in the first 15 minutes against Exeter.
Their game was off at the weekend as well, presumably because of the distance involved. That hasn't affected your scouting on Cheltenham too much?
No, we know all about Cheltenham. They'll know about us. They know how we play. We know how they play. I don't think there'll be any secrets on Saturday. I think we'll both try and pass the ball. We'll both go and get on the front foot and try and press. And it's got all the ingredients of a good team. It's of a good game. It's two good teams. It'll be a good atmosphere off the pitch, and let's hope it's playing a good spirit as well.
Yeah, and there's a few former players on each club. Do you notice anything different about maybe the Carl Winchesters of this world this week in training?
No, none whatsoever. I think that evolves. Sometimes clubs swap players, and that adds to the extra spice. But it's just, again, is noise, and The players know what's at stake. They're not silly. I won't have to fire the players up, if you like. They know what's at stake, and we'll be doing our best to get a positive result.
Injuries, how's the squad?
Nothing new from. I would say we've had a 3 weeks, so there's nothing new.
And those who have been out of late, is there anyone who's back fit, back in training, maybe back in contention?
I'm trying to think who's been out, who's close. Matt Mills is back training.
Is that possibly too soon for him, or is that one that we'll have to wait and see?
Too soon.
Thank you, good luck.
Thank you.
Mark, have you been surprised how well Cheltenham have started this season?
A little bit, but that's not been disrespectful. It's just they've done so well. It's been a big turnaround. I mean, the form was good, towards the end, but the way they've carried that on and the way they've played, yeah, I mean, full credit to them. They've done really well.
Yeah. Off the pitch, there's always been quite an intense rivalry between the two sides, but I sense now that's maybe softened a little bit, and I know you've got a great deal of respect for what Michael Duff's done so far.
Of course, it's difficult to come into a club that's struggling. You don't very often get a job when things are going well. Obviously, he came into the job, they didn't win for a while, but I think that was a process that was putting building blocks in place, and a step to where they are now. So the rivalry thing I get, I think that's more to do with fans and the history rather than the actual players and the staff.
Yeah, it's as you say, it is more of an intense thing for the fans than the players. But obviously, the players, I would understand, will realise how important the game is.
Of course, they know what's at stake. It's a local derby. We're away from home. We're against a team with the best home record, and they'll be favourites to win the game. So we know what we have to do. We know we have to get up for it. But amongst that, we've got to stay calm. And if you're going to play like we do and like Cheltenham does, there's no point being indisciplined and just 100 mile an hour, because you can't do what we need to do to be able to do that. Yes, we've got to have a good intensity and we've got to press and get after, but we've also got to remain calm and be able to pass the ball like we do.
Yeah, your team is obviously going to give Cheltenham plenty to think about, but what players stand out for you from Cheltenham?
They've got good players. They've got some good players. So I don't think there's one standout. Obviously Varney, because he scores goals, but then you've got the goalkeeper who keeps clean sheets. Then you've got Hussey, who's just signed a new deal. So they've got good players. You don't get the consistency they've had, and nor do we, without having decent players on the pitch. So we, like I say, we respect the team we play against every week.
Yeah. How pleased have you been this season with Carl Winchester? He seems to have been a real 7, 8 out of 10 every week.
I think he's evolving. I think he's getting better as a player. I think he's getting better, and he's one of those players that you enjoy coaching, because I sometimes coach players and I'll show them something 4, 5, 6 times and they don't get it. Whereas I'll show Winnie once and he's, yeah, I've got it, it's fine. Yeah. I don't have to tell him again. And that's a sign for me of a good player. And yeah, he's getting better. He can get, and there's more development in him still.
And would you say certain players have probably stepped up to the plate since Reece Brown's gone as well? Because Reece was your talisman last season.
I've been asked before, how do you replace Reece Brown? I don't think you do, because he was a unique type player. We've replaced him in different ways, with different types of players. Little Jack Aitchinson's come in and done fantastically well. Mike Stevens has come in, and Aaron Collins have all come in and looked lively. So it's a different way. We play a different way to we did last year.
Cheers, Mark.
Thank you.
Thank you.